Check, check. Oh, it works. Hello. When I was 8 years old, Samantha and I were coloring by a dirt soccer field in Ecuador. I colored a cat, but she colored a world where every child was eating. Samantha was hungry nearly every day. I was one angry 8-year-old, y'all. That is so unfortunate. Hunger is the easiest thing to solve in the world. All you have to do is make food affordable and accessible. Immediately, I went home and decided to be a part of the solution. By 12, I was taking flying lessons with a dream of flying food to people who needed it the most. Later, I helped organize United Nations World Hunger Summits and implement school nutrition programs in Africa. When I came to North Carolina for school, I accidentally fell in love with the cutest guy and just had to marry him, and he brought me to Greensboro. For the first time in my life, I was really worried. What was I going to do here? 2 weeks later, Greensboro was named the hungriest city in the United States. That bears repeating. Greensboro was named the hungriest city in the United States. Suddenly, I was home. I began talking to everyone I could about hunger. Where were the gaps? What were our strengths? Two things became very clear. The local food banks did not have the capacity to meet the need. And there was no real strategy to end hunger long term. 67% of students in Greensboro at the time were food insecure. Let's imagine for a second that we are the students of Guilford County. You here on the sides are healthy, well-nourished, you have curious minds, you're excited about going to school and growing like a weed. Everyone sitting in the middle is hungry. You fall asleep in class. You have behavior issues because when your stomach is rumbling, you can't deal with the stresses of the day. That's what we were dealing with as a community. A simple gesture was born out of the idea that Greensboro is one of the most giving, generous cities in the country. We began giving our neighbors green bags, grocery shopping bags, with a list of items that the local food banks needed the most and a list of dates. We asked that every time somebody go to the grocery store, they just pick up one extra item, put it in their bag, and on the designated day, leave it on their front porch or take it to work. Today, over 4,500 people give at their home or work. And one of our 600 volunteers goes around their neighborhoods and around the city, picks up the bags, and delivers it to one of 11 local food banks, places like Backpack Beginnings, Out of the Garden, Guilford Food Pantry, and several others. We've collaborated and put a food pantry or a backpack program into every school in Guilford County. Tonight, I would like to ask you to sign up for a bag if you haven't already. These funds tonight are really going to help us provide food to children 0 to 5. There are no programs right now to help feed those children, and we want to make sure that happens. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, what do you think?
I think we're on. Yep, there we are. You know what I love about this is how simple the solution is, right? And that it leverages all the activity that's already happening in this community. Sometimes it just takes that simple step to build a bridge. Thank you for what you're doing. That's beautiful.
Now, I've lived in New York and LA, and I've seen poverty at a mass level, so I know poverty here is not something that we can't conquer if we all come together to do it. Our organization, the Culture Pushers, are working with the United Way to end local poverty, so this resonates with me, and I know exactly what you're talking about. You're speaking my language, so I appreciate your efforts, and I think we can do this.
Thanks.
I was going to echo the thought that you're very aptly named. It is such a simple gesture. It's really elegant the way that you're integrating that gesture into people's everyday life. Everybody's going to be going to the grocery store. It's so doable, and I really, really appreciate that.
That's great. Thank you, judges.